Home Assistant does not get messy in one afternoon. One day, you rename a container. A month later, the bedroom tablet still answers to Alarm Panel 1. After enough of that, the entity registry starts to look like a junk drawer. I wanted Codex to help clean it up. I also gave it a guardrail. Prove what is stale before deleting anything. The first prompt was plain. Review the Home Assistant entities for clarity. Do not change production. Then I narrowed the scope. Start with Portainer and container entities. Verify stale entries against Home Assistant and the live container hosts. Codex came back with 3 groups. Remove the entities with no live Docker match. Hold the names that still had dashboard references or healthy replacements. Migrate the glances sensors after checking for target name conflicts. Portainer and container entities made a good first cleanup. Long-running Docker setups collect old container IDs and retired services from integrations that changed over time. Codex read Home Assistant first. It checked the entity registry and the current states before it touched the repo. The Home Assistant MCP lookup worked as the front door, but it did not expose every entity by name. Codex moved to the Home Assistant API and WebSocket registry for the audit. That kept the cleanup tied to Home Assistant's own record. From there, Codex checked the live infrastructure. It used Proxmox for host truth and Docker for current containers. An old Home Assistant entity had to match something real. The easy pile had 1,136 Portainer entities with hash-style container prefixes. All of them were unavailable. None of the hashes matched a current Docker container ID. Codex removed that pile from the Home Assistant entity registry. The next pile needed more care. Some names looked stale, but healthy replacement entities existed with suffixes like _2. Other entities still showed up in a dashboard or needed a separate host check. Codex left those alone. The safe set had to be unavailable in Home Assistant with no live Docker match. Codex also checked dashboard references before removal. Codex removed 650 more stale Portainer and container entities from that set. The repo needed the same cleanup. Recorder and logbook still had generated exclusion blocks for old Portainer status and state entities. Codex rebuilt those blocks from the current registry and kept the Docker monitoring helpers that still matter. That cut 408 stale lines from Recorder and Logbook without losing the aggregate Docker outage signal. The glances rename bothered me more than the stale rows. Most of the glances sensors used readable Docker and Proxmox prefixes. One Docker 17 group still used an old IP-based prefix. Codex checked the target names before renaming anything. It found 77 active glances entities with the old prefix and no matching sensor.docker 17 conflicts. Then Codex renamed the Home Assistant entities and updated the package plus Recorder and Logbook references. The tablet needed a different kind of cleanup. In the UI, Alarm Panel 1 meant the bedroom fire tablet. The entity IDs stayed as Alarm Panel 1 because the automations already use them and the codenames still work. The device display name changed to Bedroom Kiosk Tablet. Users get the clearer name. YAML keeps the stable identifiers. The cleanup finished with validation. Codex ran the Home Assistant config check and it passed. It reloaded templates and automations without a restart. The renamed Docker 17 raw sensors reported values under the new names. The old IP-based names no longer appeared in the registry. On your own setup, start with the Home Assistant registry and compare each entity with the system that owns it. Search the repo before deleting. Keep unclear entities until you can prove them stale, then validate Home Assistant after the cleanup. Codex made the cross-checks faster. The rule did not change. Trust the state you can prove. If this saves you an afternoon in the entity registry, like and subscribe. For the next video, watch the Home Assistant Dashboard Design System video, or choose the video YouTube recommends on screen.